Every day before I go to work, I have to stop and put on my shoes. I typically do it in this chair in my bedroom. And recently, this has become a time and a place where I go for prayer. I call this my prayer chair now. So I want to talk a little bit about how this went from being a place I put my shoes on to my prayer chair. And I think it goes to a variety of things. First off was, being in Sunday school and a small group Bible study and talking all of them about spiritual disciplines. Nobody knew what the other was going to talk about, but it kept talking about the same things. It was like I kept getting it thrown on me that spending time in prayer, spending time in the Word, in meditation, and at the same time, I was having a man that I know who, we don't really know each other, but he has my cell phone number, and he texts me, and he's like, I need you to pray for this person who's battling cancer. I need you to pray for this person who is dealing with this struggle. They're dealing with finances. And, I'd say, yeah, I'll pray for him. And I kind of felt like a fraud, because I wasn't praying specifically for anything for those people. I was praying for hope and strength, and those are good things, but it was hard for me to pray for an outcome and hope for it, because I think, like many of us, I think I was stuck in this struggle with understanding, does God cause bad things to happen to good people? Does he cause bad things to happen to bad people and good things to happen to good people? And what's his role in that? And I decided at some point that I can't get so hung up in that I stop praying. I may not ever know the answer to that, but I need to do my part and put in the time and the spiritual discipline. And I think I found through that it helps me in other ways. So I find that as I leave, I'm not projecting what I think people think of me, but rather I try to get myself centered on viewing myself as a beautiful child of God in need of grace. I make mistakes, but viewing myself through God's eyes and not, people I work with or a person that I'm struggling with in my job or some other thing. I just feel like my focus is better. I think I also allow myself to give God credit when we have, over 150 kids at a Fellowship of Christian Athletes meeting on a given day. When we have 30 or 40 kids at Bible studies that are being led by students at school, when I have good interactions with people or a good outcome of a difficult situation, I'm giving God more credit for those, which I think is important. And I find that when I walk out the door, I feel like I'm in a better place, that my focus is different. And now prayer hasn't become a thing that I feel guilty that I'm not doing. It's become something that I look forward to, that is an important part of my day. It's part of my routine, and not just a discipline or a practice, but something I am excited about and that I look forward to. And obviously I pray for my wife, for my kids, and I feel connection with them in praying for those things, and praying for difficult situations where I'm hoping for a good outcome. And again, I don't know if God's hand is on it directly, moving us around and determining what happens, but I know that I'm expressing my desire, my hope, my need for strength, for grace, for all of it as I communicate with God. And I think it's been a good thing. And I would just encourage each of you to find your place. Doesn't have to be a chair, but find a place in your routine where just a couple minutes of prayer time, of meditation, of quiet, whatever it is you can do, will hopefully make us just a little bit better, in our thoughts, in our connection with our God, connection with family, in all of it. I would encourage you to find your prayer chair as you move forward.